The night I was thrown out of the mansion, barefoot and clutching my dignity like a cracked phone screen, they laughed so loudly you would have thought it was a comedy show with free drinks. And to be fair, if I were them, warm, well-fed, wrapped in silk robes and arrogance, I might have laughed too. But life has a wicked sense of humor, and it loves nothing more than a plot twist with receipts. It all started 3 years earlier, when I married into wealth so old it had dust on its dust. My husband, Richard Beaumont, came from one of those families whose money had its own personality and opinions. The Beaumont mansion sat on a hill as if it were judging the entire city below. White columns, endless rooms, chandeliers that could double as gym equipment. A place where even the silence sounded expensive. When I married Richard, his family smiled politely, the way people smile when they're mentally betting on how long you'll last. I wasn't what they expected. I didn't come from old money. I didn't have a famous last name or a pedigree that could be traced back to someone who invaded somewhere centuries ago. I had opinions. I laughed loudly. I once asked if we really needed 17 guest rooms. That alone should have disqualified me. From day one, I was treated like a temporary inconvenience. His mother corrected my posture. His sister corrected my pronunciation. His cousins corrected my existence. They tolerated me the way people tolerate a fly at dinner, hoping it would eventually leave on its own. Richard, bless his emotionally unavailable heart, did nothing. He liked me best when I was quiet, agreeable, and decorative. When I stopped being those things, the marriage began to crack. The final blow came when I refused to sign over my inheritance, modest but meaningful, into a family trust. I asked too many questions. I read documents. I committed the ultimate sin in wealthy families. I paid attention. That's when the tone changed. Suddenly, I was ungrateful, disrespectful, not aligned with family values. Richard started coming home late. Whispers filled the mansion halls faster than the cleaning staff could move. And one evening, after a particularly brutal dinner where his mother suggested I remember my place, Richard finally snapped. Or rather, decided I was expendable. We argued. Voices rose. Doors slammed. And before I could fully process what was happening, a suitcase was shoved into my hands. "You should leave," he said coldly. "Tonight." His family watched, and they laughed. His sister actually clapped. Someone muttered, "I knew it wouldn't last." His mother looked relieved, like a stain had finally been removed from her favorite carpet. I walked out of that mansion with my head high, my heart shattered, and my feet painfully bare, because apparently dignity does not include shoes when you're being expelled from luxury. I cried that night. Ugly cried. The kind of crying where you question every life decision and eat cereal out of the box because bowls feel like too much commitment. But grief didn't last forever. Anger showed up next. And anger? Oh, anger is productive. You see, while the Beaumonts were busy underestimating me, I had been quietly building something. Before my marriage, I had invested in real estate. Small projects at first. Fix and flips. Rental properties. Nothing flashy. I listened more than I spoke. Learned more than I bragged. During my marriage, I didn't stop. I just did it quietly. Because when people think you're useless, they don't watch you closely. After the divorce, quick, ruthless, humiliating, I poured myself into work. I bought undervalued properties, revived dying buildings, turned bad investments into gold. The bank stopped calling me miss and started calling me ma'am with respect. Money grew. Confidence followed. And then fate, dressed as a real estate broker, called me one afternoon. "There's a property coming on the market," he said. "Off the record. And large estate. Family troubles. Might interest you." He sent the address. I laughed so hard I had to sit down. The Beaumont mansion. Turns out, arrogance is expensive. Bad investments, legal battles, and too many champagne habits had finally caught up with them. They needed liquidity. Fast. And selling the mansion, their precious symbol of superiority, was their last resort. I didn't hesitate. I didn't negotiate aggressively. I bought it. Cash. The day I signed the papers, I wore flats. On purpose. Moving day was poetic. I pulled up to the mansion in my car, stepped out, and watched as movers carried my furniture inside. The same gates that once closed behind me now opened wide. Richard's sister was there, overseeing what little was being salvaged. She froze when she saw me. Her mouth opened.
Closed.
Opened again. You, she finally managed. I smiled.
Me.
Richard appeared next. He looked tired, smaller, like a man whose reflection had finally started asking uncomfortable questions. This is some kind of joke, he said weakly.
No, irraplia.
This is a purchase. The silence that followed was better than applause.
If why?
If you're enjoying this slow, delicious revenge right now, pause for a second and subscribe to Sinful Secret, because stories where karma clocks in early and underdogs by the whole building are exactly why we're here. I didn't kick them out.
No.
I'm not cruel. I gave them time. Legal time. Proper notice. Professional courtesy. But I did walk through every room they once controlled, choosing paint colors and furniture placements, reclaiming space they had tried to make me feel unworthy of. On the final day, as they left, Richard's mother avoided my eyes. I didn't force conversation. Power doesn't need speeches. Now, I host charity events in that mansion. Laughter fills the halls again. But this time, it's real. My friends laugh loudly. I walk barefoot whenever I want.
I sit wherever I choose.
Sometimes I stand on the balcony and think about that night, how small I felt, how loud their laughter was. And then I smile, because nothing silences laughter faster than success. If this story made you laugh, feel satisfied, or quietly whisper as she should, then subscribe to Sinful Secret right now. Like, comment, and share, because the best revenge stories aren't about destruction, they're about ownership.